Alright, so in this video we're going to be doing a little comparison here, motor comparison between the Brotherhobby 2004 motor and the BetaFPV version. So I actually have the 3000 kV version here shown in this on the right, but I actually tested the 1700 kV version. I just didn't want to take it off of the drone. This is what was actually tested in the video. So it's the 1700 kV versions of both. So this one here, I already had it on the drone and I removed it. It says the 2004 1700 kV Brotherhobby, and so I flew that first, and I flew the BetaFPV second. And this is the X-Night 5 analog version, and I removed the stock motor that was on there. It's the 1805 1550 kV motor. And of course, this is all being tested on the 6S battery and the 550 6S from BetaFPV, and they're all running the same props and the same PID tune. So I haven't changed the PID tune or any of the stock settings from when I was flying the 1805 motor. So when you see the two flights at the end here between the Brotherhobby and the BetaFPV motor, they're all going to be on the same PID tunes. I purposely did that because I wanted to show you guys what the differences would be between the two different motors on the same PID tune. And well, spoiler alert, I'll just explain what the differences are. So the I don't know what it is, but between the Brotherhobby and the BetaFPV, the BetaFPV is a little bit more notchy. Magnets do seem a little bit stronger, and the motor weighs significantly more. It's like about 1.5 grams more, and it does have a little bit more power. So it draws about maybe 2-3 more amps more on full punch out. Obviously on the same PID tune, the same props, same frame, everything. So if you're looking for a little bit more power and just a little bit less efficiency, the BetaFPV motor probably is the one you want. And if you're looking for more efficiency and a lighter motor, then you want the Brotherhobby motor. So those are basically in a nutshell, the two differences between the motor. Otherwise, the differences aren't super apparent. Low end torque's pretty similar. There's a little bit more in the BetaFPV motor. They both perform really nice, really good control. I like both these motors better than the original one that was on here, the 1805. I think the kV has a lot to do with it as well. This is a lower kV 1550 on the same voltage, so it just doesn't perform as nice as the 1700 kV. So let me just give you the weights of these different motors here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so the original 1805 motor that was on here, so this is with the wire, and there's going to be some minor differences with the wire length, so keep that in mind. 16.2 grams for that, and then the Brotherhobby motor is coming in at 15.1, so way lighter and more power than the 1805 motor, and then the BetaFPV version is coming in at 16.6, so about, like I said, about 1.5 grams more for the BetaFPV motor. Now the wire length here is a little bit, well, it's not that different. It's a little bit longer on the BetaFPV, maybe just like maybe like 1 centimeter, but the wire is thinner on the BetaFPV versus the Brotherhobby. It's much thicker gauge wire, so the wire is actually probably heavier on the Brotherhobby motor at 15.1 grams. So that means that the overall weight of the motor is probably 1.5 grams to maybe 1.7 grams lighter than the BetaFPV motor. So here's the weight of the drone. No battery. Yeah, I don't remember what it weighed with the 1805. You can check that video. I'll link it in the description. But it's coming in at 144.4 grams now with the BetaFPV motor. So if you put on the Brotherhobby motors instead, so 1.5 grams, that'd be 6 grams less. So this would be coming in at about 138 grams with the Brotherhobby motors. Alright, so quick side-by-side of the motors. I have posted these photos of the motors on my Instagram as well. You can see there's a lot more, at least the top of the bell, you can see much more bigger gaps. You can see a lot of the windings from above, and not as much on the BetaFPV. That's probably where the extra weight's coming in, is all that extra metal at the top of the bell. Here's a look from the side. And again, you can see probably more weight there in the top of the bell. And here's a look at the bottom. The magnets do look thicker on the Brotherhobby motor, interestingly enough. Now, I think the Brotherhobby motor does have a weight advantage here with the titanium shaft. I believe it has a 1.5mm titanium shaft, and I think that's probably where the weight savings is. I think the shaft on the BetaFPV motor is steel. They're both 1.5mm. So for those of you guys who are like, oh, 1.5mm internal shaft, it's going to break in a crash. Yeah, if you crash a lot, crash hard. I don't recommend these sort of micro motors for your kind of flying. You should probably go with standard 5mm motors and the extra weights. This is for those of you guys that want, the ultralight sort of drag racer type of drone that's not going to be quite as durable. So again, it's all about weight savings versus durability, and when you shave weight, you also reduce durability. All right, so it's a couple minor things about the X-Night itself before we show you the two flights. I did modify the canopy here to cut off this little lip so that doesn't show up in the camera view, because of the canopy is sort of blocking the camera view there, so that you'll notice that's different from the original review video. I've modified that, and then I've rotated the battery plate here on the bottom. I just unscrewed all 8 screws for the arms and then just rotated it 90 degrees so that I could put my battery in sideways. So that's the other modification I made. And then I also made this little modification for the antenna to prop it up at an angle with a piece of foam and a zip tie here to hold it in place. If you just leave it in that clip there, it'll probably pop out, and then the video transmitter will come out with it. So I think that's pretty much it in terms of the modifications. Otherwise, the PID tune's the same. The props are the same, frame's the same, everything else is the same except for those minor modifications. And that's going to do it for this one. I will show you the two flights. Let me know what you guys think of the the performance in terms of the amp draw. So I get, again, stock settings on this, so I left it with whatever the current meter is calibrated with. So it's probably not 100% accurate, but you'll get the settings are the same for both motors, so at least you get a relative idea of the differences. So that's where I'm coming up with the sort of the probably 3, maybe 5 amp difference between the two motors in terms of maximum power draw at full throttle. And so again, as I said, if you're looking for a more efficient, lighter motor, I think the Brotherhobby is your choice. If you're looking for something with a little bit more power but added weight, then choose the BetaFPV motor. Anyway, here's the two flights, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. We've got the same tune and everything on here, just same props, same battery. Just changed the motors and made a couple modifications. Running the battery sideways now and adjusted the orientation of the video transmitter antenna. Probably need to adjust the tune for a different motor. I'm getting oscillations. It's definitely more responsive than the I think there were 1805 motors on here before. top end's a little less. You can kind of hear it as the props kind of flatten out. I'll the battery recover a little bit here and let you hear the sound on full throttle. There's a hawk or something nearby. I don't see anything, but I could hear it screaming. Yeah, if you go into the prop wash, you get a little bit of prop wash oscillation. Not bad. Maybe add a little bit more filtering. You guys could watch the previous video and see how this performs compared to the 1805s. It's a little bit better, but not noticeably different. I feel like it's a little bit more responsive. I'll have to see how this Brotherhobby motor compares to the BetaFPV version. That'll be interesting. And it's still floaty like before. Getting kind of end of the battery here. I think the flight time might be a little less. Same battery, 550-6S from BetaFPV. A little bit of wind picking up now. Let's do another punch out here. Getting down to the end of the battery. Let's do another one. Yeah, you can see a little bit less power now. Each one, the voltage is dropping. Try to fly the BetaFPV motors the same way. Obviously I only have one of these, so one of these frames, so all right, 21 volts, 5.5 minutes still, so yeah, pretty good flight time. Yeah, performance is a little bit better. I think it has a little bit more control, a little bit less top end, but this is about what I predicted. We'll have to see how the BetaFPV motors feel. We'll see that here in the next segment. All right, so about a week later now, and different time of the day. It's probably the last time you guys are going to see this park. Too many people here. Now, I haven't changed the tune, but I can tell there's oscillations now. So this motor is a bit more notchy than the Brotherhobby motor. So the magnets are a little stronger. So at low throttle here, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Right there. And on the prop wash. Full throttle is okay though. Not a lot of oscillation. Same as the Brotherhobby. Let's try another full throttle. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. It's only on the turns you get the prop wash oscillation, so that just means it needs more filtering. A little bit of an adjustment in the tune. It's not a big deal. Yeah, right there in the turns. And then when that oscillation happens, it affects the video because there's a lot of electrical noise. In terms of overall power, I don't know if you guys could see it or not. Just a little, there's just a little bit more power than the Brotherhobby motor. It's not super noticeable, but then at the same time with full throttle, you can kind of hear it kind of peter out at the end. Yeah, now I'm kind of doing a lot of these. The battery's getting kind of a hit. Right there, you hear that oscillation. So it just means that the magnets are a lot stronger on this motor. That's why I left the tune the same. Those kind of things will come out. I didn't want to adjust the tune so you can't see that. Otherwise, you won't be able to tell the difference. Oh, the video kind of cuts out when you do a hard flip like that. Let's see here. Yep. So this is electrical noise. So yeah, I think you're going to get a little bit more in this motor versus the Brotherhobby motor. It's more notchy. I think it is a little bit stronger because the magnets are a little stronger, but you do a lot of turning, like racing, for example. That's going to have an effect on you. You're going to probably need to maybe put some more filtering, like capacitors on. And then where the capacitor is on the XD60 connector itself, you probably want to put it directly on the board instead for this motor. I wasn't having as much electrical noise issues with the Brotherhobby motor. So something to keep in mind. Otherwise, it's full throttle. It's pretty smooth. Being a lot of voltage sag there. And you guys can see the numbers on the screen. Haven't adjusted any of the current sensor numbers or anything. It's probably not 100% accurate, so you can just look at the relative numbers compared to the Brotherhobby motor and see for yourself. I'm not looking at them right now. I'm trying to fly, so. Anyway, 5 minutes. What minutes you guys think in the comments?